Talking with the experts.
So, 5 tips. Number one, you've got to be authentic. You have to be yourself. I see so many clients that they're comparing themselves to other people. They're trying to emulate someone else and their leadership style. And look, that's okay as a guide to kind of pick and choose the paths that you like, but it always has to come from you. So that's number one. Number two, in terms of the concept of leadership, it's no longer about hierarchy and power. It's about how to have a positive influence on those around you, how to inspire them to be better people, how to bring the best out of them. That's my definition of leadership. And that's what I think would help other people to succeed on their leadership journey. In terms of communication, I would say clear, concise communication is important. I find that some of my clients, they think they have to use big fancy words, or they pressure themselves to sound really smart when they speak. Well, actually, the simpler and the more concise, the better.
Talking with the experts.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners. I'm your host, Rose Davidson of rosedavidson.com. And today my guest is Nicole Schmitz, and she is a leadership coach specialising in soft skills and communication. She enables corporate professionals and entrepreneurs to become empowered communicators who speak up, be seen, and get ahead in their careers and with their lives. And her flagship Empowered Communicator Accelerator program will help business owners to develop the career essential soft skills required to get them to the next level. Welcome, Nicole, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Rose. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about why, what are the soft skills that people need to learn?
Yeah, sure. So I refer them to the leadership X factor. So, when you're moving to positions of leadership, it's no longer about those being the expert in your field or having the technical skills. It moves towards those softer skills. And really what I specialize in is, helping people with their personality, their charm, their charisma, their influence, and their impact in their communication as a leader.
Yeah, it's very important to have all of those things as a leader.
That's right.
We quite often on this show talk about the difference between managing and leading, and quite often people are good managers, but they're absolutely appalling leaders. And these are, and I mean, sometimes you can be a born leader, but most times leadership skills are a learned behaviour. Your flagship program, the Empowered Communicator Accelerator program, what does that involve that will help these managers or business people or entrepreneurs become great leaders?
Sure. So look, it's an all-encompassing holistic transformation. The whole idea of my program is to do it once and to have that lifelong change. So we really tackle things at all angles. So we start with the internal state. So we start with, understanding the core of your communication or leadership strategy setbacks, which I find is really the first step towards everything else, because once you have that awareness, it's such an eye-opening experience and already valuable in and of itself. And then we work on sort of overcoming those limiting beliefs. So that's the internal state. Then we move on to the bridge, which is the career planning, the future direction. Because in order to get these better communication strategies and skills, we need to have a goal to work towards. So this is where things get really interesting, and my clients really love that. And, you mentioned something earlier that leadership is something that's taught and it doesn't come naturally to most people. However, I think we all have that leader inside us. We all have that potential. So it's about guiding and bringing that out of somebody. So in that sort of middle bridge stage is where we connect the dots. We figure out what are your natural strengths and weaknesses, your values, and we create your authentic leader presence. Because in order to be a good leader, it has to come from a natural place. We can't, I can't give one person the same strategies that I give the other, because we're all different. We all have our own unique story and what's made us who we are today. And we need to play on those strengths in order to make you really reach that full leadership potential. So that's the middle stage. And then finally, we have the external communication strategies, which are centered around 2 core pillars for me, which is 1, literally getting the message out through communication, and 2, connecting with others through, networking, small talk, rapport, or building up those key strategic professional relationships.
Yeah, it's something that's very much needed in today's climate too, because we've had to transition from in-person to virtual events, and sometimes the message gets a little bit lost along the way, I guess, because unless you can actually see someone's face, the written word is not as easily understood as what it is when you can actually speak with someone. So and because virtual events are going to be the thing of the future, it's our new normal now, or hybrid events even for that matter. So communication is key, and that's I'm actually going to be doing some training with a speaking institute
wonderful.
to learn how to better my communication skills as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, I can communicate really well, but get me up in a crowd of people and no, I just can't do it. But
Look, I totally understand you there. That's where the nerves creep in. You start to question yourself. You're afraid of being judged. But, if you can do it with me one-on-one, then there's no reason why you can't do it in front of a crowd.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a mind thing. It's just, you've got to say, they're in their underwear. They're in their underwear.
Or what is it? Hold, the clip in your hand and, to get your nerves away, all those little strategies. I get you.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. So what brought you from, studying law and psychology to what you're doing now?
Sure. So look, I would say I use both elements in my coaching to date, especially so the psychology part. They've both been my passion, but more so psychology. I'm extremely passionate about the human mind and the way it works. And without a doubt, with coaching and, more so leadership coaching, it's really important to understand what's really going on in there, because as you mentioned earlier, I would say most of it is mindset. And what I really love doing with my clients is flipping that little switch, because once that's flipped, things change forever, and their eyes are opened and they're able to do things that they never thought they were able to do. So I started in law, and, I always loved psychology, but I honestly really felt like my calling in life, I love to communicate. I love to talk to people. I love to help them with psychology. So leadership coaching seemed like the best fit.
Yes, one leads to the other, and sometimes hand in hand is quite good when you can take your studies and do what you're passionate about. That's why I do this, because I just love helping people. I think it's I'm quite heart-centered, so I'm giving more than I take all the time, but it makes me feel good. So if I can bring a smile to someone, it's made my day. So that's 100%.
It. And I can see the passion in your eyes too.
Oh, thank you. So I guess getting back to your program, how long does this actually go for?
So there's two parts to the program. And the first part is a structured transformation. That's where I really get in deep with you one-on-one. And I know it could sound a little bit full on, but this is where the transformation happens, and we do it at their pace. I don't push my clients to do anything that they're not ready for. As I am a trained psychologist, I'm able to sort of pick up on those things as well, even if it is over Zoom, and able to help them on their journey. So it's an initial 6-month intensive one-to-one where I get to know you back to front, your story, your communication strategies, and we work on them together. And then the second part of my program I call continuity. And it's a little bit different. And it's something that my clients really like, because have you ever done something before, Rose, where, you've done a course, or say this Speakers Institute that you're going to go to, and you feel super excited. You feel like, I've learned so much, I'm going to implement all of this. Then 2 months later, you're like, what did I learn again?
Yeah, that's it. Quite often when I was doing my diploma in HR management, I did all the work and everything, and it was all really great. And then, then I had to go and put it into practice. I thought, what did I learn?
Yeah, exactly. Because you learn all this theory, and then all of a sudden, if you're out there, you're in front of that crowd, on that stage, in front of these people, you kind of freeze again. You're like, I forgot everything I learned. So essentially what I do in the second part of my program, it's a continuity monthly cycle. And I give graduates of my program an opportunity to test, in a Toastmasters like session, like a speaking sort of group session where I would know this person inside out by this stage, having worked with them for 6 months together. And I would give them a task that I know they would need to further their development. And they would do it in a safe space in front of other people that have graduated with similar communication struggles. And I just find it's a good way for them to put things into practice, keep that muscle strong. So by the time they get to the workplace, it's all natural. And the nerves, I would say, or I would hope, are mostly gone.
Yeah. So I guess what level of, of business would you need to be in? So is it for someone that's in startup, or would it be someone that's, got a team or staff or, whatever, or is it, more middle management up to the C-suite, or, where is it?
So look, I believe anyone could improve their leadership and communication, because for me, there are leaders at all levels, from entry level to above. However, I would say I mostly focus on managerial and above, because, at the start of your career, you tend to be more focused or skewed towards the technical skills and the expertise and demonstrating your knowledge. Whereas as you move up, the more the soft skills and the communication come into play. So I would say mostly, I have clients that are just sort of shy of the C-suite and want to get there. But I also have clients in the manager level as well. It's whenever you feel ready, the earlier, the better, to be honest. But yeah, it's generally those type of people that I help.
Yeah. So I guess to be able to participate in your program, what are the criteria for entry into it?
Yeah, sure. So I need your commitment. I need to feel that you are ready for this, because, there's no point in us putting in this effort with each other if you're not going to put your 110%, because it reflects on me and it reflects on you. And I want to make the most out of our time and also the money that you've spent as well. So that is definitely something that I pick up on in the consultation call that we have together. And, I want someone who's willing to get to the next level. They want it that much that they're willing to make the change, because it's not going to be easy. It's going to be full of challenges, but you have to be ready. I can't push you or do things for you, but if you know in your heart you're ready for this challenge, then I'm willing to help you.
Yeah, it's important anyway, whatever training you undertake, especially if it gets into, the inside of you and you've got to express feelings and, change mindset. And it's really important that you are committed 100% to the process, because, half-hearted is just not good enough. You're not going to get the benefit of it, and it's going to make the coach, yourself feel bad, because you think, well, I haven't done anything, or, why did I take this person on board, because, they're not committed even though I thought they were. And, it brings up all sorts of negative things, and it's not fair on anybody, I don't think.
Yeah. And look, sometimes, there is a natural struggle. It's not like they're trying not to be committed, but perhaps they're afraid, or they're hitting a roadblock. They're being pushed to the edge. But again, that's about me just having an open, honest conversation and just sort of letting them know, like, this is what you can achieve with me. And I know that I can help these people, but I need them to meet me, halfway as well.
I'm just looking here at your record of employment and all the things that you've done. And my goodness, you are just so qualified to do what you do. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Head of data engineering and global IT director. And I mean, you don't look old enough to be any of those things.
Those are my client. They're my
your clients.
I
do beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got that all not quite right.
That's okay.
Embarrassment.
No, that's okay. I've helped people at that level, and I've helped people, I've helped a client get a promotion after 3 months, and he was the type of person that didn't want to speak up. He was not assertive. But it just goes to show the types of things you can achieve if you just flip that switch and have the right guidance.
Yeah, sometimes the aha moment that you have is like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? Or why didn't I do that? Or and you're right. Just sometimes the light bulb goes on and actually somebody's home. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't realise that I had this all wrong. But anyway, you've worked with, such a diverse group of people. A lot of it's project managers and business development and marketing communications. And, what I guess leads to the question of what do they all have in common other than wanting to better their leadership skills?
Well, I think that is the thing that they have in common. And that's something that everyone has across any. So I help entrepreneurs as well, business owners. I've helped an astronomer in the past. So there's really a diverse group of people there. I think when it comes to being human and expressing yourself and communicating your message, I mean, that's something we all have in common. And it's not tied to a certain industry. I mean, I would say the top two industries that I help are finance and tech, or fintech, if you please. But look, as you can see, I've helped marketers, I've helped business owners, fashion designers. It really doesn't matter. As long as you have that desire to want to better yourself with communication, to be a better leader in your field, then that's all it takes.
Absolutely. Would you care to share with us, maybe 5 tips to become a better leader, or something that might be included in your program and people will, get a little bit more interested in participating in it?
Yeah, sure. So 5 tips. Number 1, you've got to be authentic. You have to be yourself. I see so many clients that they're comparing themselves to other people. They're trying to emulate someone else and their leadership style. And look, that's okay as a guide to kind of pick and choose the paths that you like, but it always has to come from you. So that's number 1. Number 2, in terms of the concept of leadership, it's no longer about hierarchy and power. It's about how to have a positive influence on those around you, how to inspire them to be better people, how to bring the best out of them. That's my definition of leadership. And that's what I think would help other people to succeed on their leadership journey. In terms of communication, I would say clear, concise communication is important. I find that some of my clients, they think they have to use big fancy words, or they pressure themselves to sound really smart when they speak. Well, actually, the simpler and the more concise, the better. So I think in this case, less is more. What else can I say? I think using your position to have a positive influence on other people is very important. So yes, we all want more money. We all want to move up the ladder. Let's be real. That is a part of it. We want to have that sense of achievement for ourselves, but it's really about what you do with that platform. And you don't have to be like everybody else. You can make your own mark and be that different person. And in fact, that's how things are going to get better. Yeah, and so I think I've said 4 now. So finally, I would say, just be confident in yourself and your capabilities. Chances are you have all you need within you already. And I'm pretty sure of it. You have all the tools you need. It's just we are covered with self-doubt and we tell ourselves, oh, no, I can't. No, that's not me. It's not in my DNA. When actually it is. And if you took a moment to sit down and think about, how did I get to the position I'm in? What have I achieved so far? And focus on the positives, you'll realize you have much more leadership potential than you think.
Yeah, all great tools to use and things to think. Excuse me, I got a bit of a dry mouth. And things to think about, because to be a great leader, you need all of those things. And you're right, most of us have it within us. We just have the imposter syndrome or the comparisonitis, which is the worst two things in the world that you can have. Have you put this into a book form at all that people can to read? Or
so exciting news! I am underway with my book, and I'm going to be finalizing everything by February, March next year. So hopefully by mid next year, I'll be releasing a book on leadership and communication, which is super, super exciting. I think I've seen you've got a book, don't you? So
I have a chapter in a book. Yes. Yeah, it was a co-authored book that we got to number 1 in 8 countries.
Lovely. There you go. So something for me to strive towards, but yeah, I'm in the works now. I'm writing the outline, I'm planning everything, but I would really love to give back to the community and have something to share for people, who might be lost on how to go about this. They know that they want to be a better leader, they want to be a better communicator, but they're just not really sure where to start. So that's what that book is going to be based on. And it should be coming out by mid next year. So super excited.
Looks like you have to keep in touch and let me know when it comes out, and we'll go and buy a copy.
Yeah, thank you.
Excuse me. Oh God, I keep forgetting to turn my phone off because it's hooked up to my computer. I'll cut that bit out.
Okay.
I guess where can people find you, Nicole, if they want to reach out and find out a bit more about your program and about how you can help them?
Yeah, sure. So, you've got my website, which is pretty easy to remember, NicoleSchmitzCoaching.com. So just my name with coaching. It has all the information on there. You can always find me on LinkedIn as well. Got quite a good network on there. It has all the information that you need to find from me. I also have a scorecard, which is a free diagnostic tool that I give people. It's a quick 18 questions, and it benchmarks your ability to communicate as a leader and identifies areas that you can improve instantly with tips and insights and things like that. So that could be a good place for people to start. So if you can find that on my website, on NicoleSchmitzCoaching.com.
Perfect. I look forward to, I might even go and do that for myself and see how far along I am.
Do it. You should. Let me know how you go.
I will. Yeah, I will. All right, Nicole, any last words of wisdom you'd like to share with our viewers and listeners today?
Yeah, sure. So I guess it's just summarizing and reiterating everything that I've sort of said throughout this chat. But, you've all got that leader inside you. You might sit there and think it's not in my DNA. I can't be like that person or this person, but you can, and you've got it within you. And I encourage you to look inside, take a moment before you assume the worst, just sit back and ask yourself, where have I demonstrated leadership? It doesn't even have to be in the workplace. It could be at home or in your sport or in any other extracurricular activities. If you can demonstrate those leadership qualities in those different contexts, then there's no reason why you can't do it in your career.
No, absolutely. I totally 100% agree with all of that, because, we all have the ability to be leaders, even if we think that we can't do it. And really, there's no word that word can't shouldn't be in the dictionary anymore, because.
True. I agree. Thank you, Rose.
All right, Nicole, it's been an absolute pleasure. I will make sure to pop over to your website and try that scorecard. See how I go.
Yeah, let me know. Thank you so much, Rose. I enjoyed speaking with you today.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Talking with the experts.